Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. I plugged in. That's perfect.
Oh,
Um,
weird. It's weird that I like couldn't. I like. It's weird that you could hear me, but I couldn't hear you because it sounded like it never rung. It was just like that empty. Like I'm just.
yeah, I heard you. I mean, that's it's weird that you can hear me and I couldn't hear you. It makes me kind of sound like a stalker, but that's fitting. Um, I it's funny that you said like, "Oh, I'm working," right? Like with this a
hmm
little bit of gratitude because I feel like obviously with everything going on, people are really hopefully it seems a lot more aware of the blessings they have because they know that it's you're hyper aware of what you have that other people don't right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I try not to think of it as like a have not kind of thing. I mean, as you know, I run my own company, so I am thankful the fact that I can still do what I love, and through all this kind of thing. So.
Oh, first of all, you own your own business. What is it?
Mhm. So I own a ghee company. So it's Full Circle Ghee. Say ghee is a clarified butter. Basically, like you're taking unsalted butter and you are cooking it down over heat to remove all the water and then remove all of the actual milk from it. So you're just left with a oil, like preferably a cooking oil, because it works better with high heat. That just comes from butter. Yeah.
I let's see. You definitely introduced me to the concept of ghee. I had never heard of it. Even the word is kind of funny to me. Because I always think of ghee as like what you wear, like the uniform you wear in martial arts. So
Uh huh.
it's kind of a funny word,
Yeah.
but I started using ghee when I did Whole 30 because that's when I started seeing like every Whole 30 recipe had ghee because you can't do dairy on Whole 30.
Uh huh.
Um, and I'm obsessed, by the way, with your Italian herb ghee. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Even thinking about it, I'm like, I'm so excited to get more. But it's so delicious. But what someone told me when I told my girlfriend, like, yeah, I switched from butter to ghee. She was like, do you know that that's like pure fat, just like it's like she described it as like the fattiest worst part of butter. She's like you're basically skipping just straight to the cholesterol. So I want to know a little bit more about ghee in that sense because I feel like I don't fully understand what it is in terms of like, okay, yeah, it's clarified butter, you remove the water, you remove these dairy properties, but from a health standpoint, what's the difference? Because to me, Whole 30 is a really strict diet, and the fact that they encourage you to use ghee or olive oil in lieu of butter, I'm like, well, what I still don't fully get what it is, although I love it.
I have to thank Whole 30 first of all because because of the whole inclusion of ghee and all that. And then it's helped me out in what I do. As far as ghee being the worst thing that you could put in your body, I mean, I love butter personally. I think it has its uses. It doesn't cook that well, so if you do any high heat cooking with butter, it's just going to burn and then it's going to oxidize, and it's not going to be something that you actually want to consume in your body simply because of that oxidation. So you ever heard of smoking point? That is the temperature at which an oil burns. Butter burns at around 250, 275, whereas ghee burns at a higher temperature. So it's more stable at those higher temperatures. Like as far as a cooking application is concerned, so sautés, stir fries, you could bake with it, you could even deep fry with it. I mean, it can get really hot without compromising the actual nutrient integrity of the oil, unlike cooking with an olive oil. As far as the cholesterol is the basis of every single cell in our body, the part of our diet, whether we want it or not. Cholesterol is not necessarily a bad thing as far as causing all of like the degenerative diseases that are out there. It actually helps protect our organs and all of our cells and function of them. But yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I can't make any claims about cholesterol and the diet.
I was gonna say I feel like I'm in science class now, which I absolutely love. I So I really am super fascinated. I mean, I want to start from the beginning with this because
Uh-huh.
one, I'm always really fascinated by anyone who starts their own business. But when I met you, if someone had asked me like, "Oh, is he gonna?" First of all, I wouldn't have realized that you were a chef necessarily, or all. It just seems like this
Uh-huh.
popped up, and then you ran with it, and now, I mean, I love your Instagram. It's so appetizing. Like this one with the
Uh-huh.
jars full of the ghee before it like solidifies. It looks like honey. Oh my gosh, like it's so
Oh,
delectable.
thank you. Those are my favorite photos, the ones like that I take when I'm filling the jars up. So it like I do make everything by hand. Let me rephrase this. So when I was in college, I mean, I studied business. It was great. I love Chapman. Like that's how we know each other. I met so many amazing people. But I remember having a thought one of these days when I was like probably studying for finals and being like, what if I'm just like this cooking thing? Because I found myself cooking more than I should have probably been studying. Not that I did terribly in school, but it was it was always in the back of my mind.
Okay, so how did you so it started with cooking in college.
Um,
Well, okay, since you brought that up, how did we meet? That's my favorite. Like that's my new question I want to ask everybody. So how do we know each other? How did we meet? Who are you? I didn't even introduce you. I'm the worst host ever. So, hi.
um,
Your name is
hi,
Nick,
yeah, Nick,
and Nick, you own a ghee company called Full Circle Ghee. But how did we meet?
I do. We met in college. I had transferred to Chapman, and you were going there. You knew one of my best friends at the time, Steve, and we ended up meeting because we were all smoking cigarettes in front of Beckman.
Front of Beckman. I do.
Yeah,
And you're right.
that.
I forgot about the smoking. Oh God. The 10 smoking students at Chapman. One
Yeah,
of the
so
10.
we were like literally smoking cigarettes outside of there and before class or whatever. And that's when I remember meeting you. I don't know if I met you at like another like a party or something because you didn't really party in college though, did you? Not too much.
Well, it depends on what people mean by party. So maybe your definition of party and mine are different. I attended a lot
Ella,
of
you know
parties.
me.
Yeah, I attended a lot of parties. Obviously, I hung out with Steve, so there's that. Although he's married with like a kid now, so kudos to him.
Two
But
kids.
two
Two kids.
kids, oh, plural.
Oh.
Geez. Well, kudos to Steve. That's just great. I'm happy for him. Really, really happy for him. But in college, if you told me that he'd have two kids before I did, holy moly, I'd be shocked. Yeah, I definitely partied in the sense that I attended parties, but I didn't partake in all the festivities at parties. I kind of was
Oh,
like a fly on the wall.
yeah, no, I mean, I remember you more through like being on campus, I guess,
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
like the whole party thing. Because you know
yeah,
how us water polo guys were a little too rowdy for our own good sometimes.
Although that's why I loved you guys. So,
Yeah.
okay, so then you're in college, you're cooking, and how does this turn into like, how did you discover what ghee is? How did you like start this business and how are you like making, like, I don't even know how to make like cows involved. Like, how does that work?
I guess okay, so before I went to Chapman, I worked at farmers markets and I sold organic fruits basically, and ended up meeting some few people through that, and it's its own little community, and ended up meeting this lady whose uncle had a farm in Northern California and they raised cows and they make cheese. They were sold it up to farmers markets in Northern California and we're looking to expand something in San Diego. And so I was basically the first person that she hired to help her with that kind of farmers markets grassroots um, kind of business operation. Went to Chapman and got my degree in business and studied entrepreneurship. One of the things that they always kind of drilled into my mind was passion. Do what you're passionate about. Do something that makes you happy, but you're not compromising like your entire, happiness, um, outside of work and, driving you crazy. And I had heard about this product called Ghee. I had no idea what it was. I just knew that it came from like really good high quality butter, And so when I moved back to San Diego, I was kind of searching for my a place in the world. Started making I would buy butter from the company that I had previously worked for, that coming from a Northern California farm, and I would just experiment on it and refine my process over several batches.
Okay, so when you say you refine the process, like, did you buy a kitchen? Did you rent a kitchen? Where were you making it?
No, I was making my mom's house.
Are you still making it at
uh,
your mom's house?
no, 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 no. God forbid. God forbid. No, that's like because I was living there at the time, and it was a trial and error for me. I mean, some of the first jars that I ever sold were things that I'm like, I kind of shudder about right now, and not in like I did an unethical thing. I just didn't know, properly how to like get the flavor right, and make it so it was completely shelf stable, and like really just make the best product that I could.
Mm, yeah, I'm getting hungry. I'm like, your Instagram is so appetizing every time.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I have to be honest, I don't blow smoke. Like I do not BS. Obviously like several friends start businesses and I always want to support everybody's businesses, but I'm telling you, like when I
Uh-huh.
see your posts, I actually get excited because they're just so freaking appetizing. And like even thinking of the order coming in, I'm really bummed. I meant to place an order last week and it doesn't matter, like my PayPal, I needed to change my
Uh-huh.
card, whatever. And then I got sidetracked and I didn't do it. I'm so pissed because I've been cooking more now being home, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's crazy. I've lost weight. A lot of that's probably muscle from not working out, but I've lost weight just from being at home and cooking. And I'm remembering that the last time I was cooking in my life was when I was doing Whole 30. I did Whole 30 for about 4 to 5, maybe 6 months.
Oh,
Unexpectedly,
really?
I was going to do it for 30 days, but I was doing it as moral support for two people that I was living with at the time.
So
And
you
they were
really you did like a whole 180.
I really did, honestly. I mean, I'm like such a Taco Bell. I just had Taco Bell. That's why I was late, by the way. I was late because I was like, Mama needs Taco Bell. Like, I got to
Oh
go.
my God.
So I went to Taco Bell. Then I was like, I should probably tell Nick that the line's a little bit longer than I realized. But yeah, so I mean, I definitely don't eat the best. I haven't always had the best habits. Part of that is because I grew up in a really strict household where we ate very healthily. So when I got
Uh-huh.
to college, I went, some kids go buck wild and drink a lot of alcohol. I went buck wild and ate a lot of fast food. And so I
Oh,
was eating really
interesting.
poor. I'm not proud of it, but like, yeah, I don't always have the best diet. But yeah, my roommates did this. They were like, look, we're going to be doing it. We'll be cooking. We could buy stuff together. We could go shopping together. And I was like, I'll do it, but I'm not going to last a day. And then I ended up sticking to it way longer than they did.
Huh.
Um, and then I think that's when I connected with you. Like you had sent me maybe a jar or two, and then I was just like, okay, this ghee thing is in all the recipes. Let's try it out. Let's really like see what we can do. And yeah, I mean, I love the product. It's delicious. It's
Oh,
so good.
thank you.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
and I mean, and ghee, it comes from India, and a lot of the people that live in India are vegetarian. So it is a really great fat, especially when you're cooking in a vegetarian meal, just because you're not getting a lot of fat in the other areas of the life. When I was at Chapman, I'm playing water polo. We're just playing water polo in general. I like always got sick, but like twice a year with just like this gnarly, kind of sickness. And I didn't really eat the best, as you're in college and you kind of like go crazy. But I didn't have a lot of fat in my diet. And so once I started, consuming a lot more ghee and consuming a lot more fat in general, like, good quality fats, I stopped getting sick as less, or sick less, pardon me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I'm on this kick. We're so, and it's kind of in the same area, oil and fat, right? Like I
Hmm.
am all about the oils right now. Like
Okay.
I like oily, fatty things because from a skin perspective, and I'm kind of obsessed with my skin a little too much.
Uh-huh.
Um, I just feel like it adds vibrancy and life, and we need oils in our body. Our skin needs the moisture. It needs, so I mean,
Yeah.
I put oil on, topically I'm putting oil on, but then I also want to consume it for I'm convincing myself that it's the fountain of youth.
Yeah, I mean, even like lotion, like that, the basis of lotion is like it's basically an emulsification. It's like mayonnaise for your skin. Sorry. Uh, it's literally just like water and oil that is like mixed together, and it is meant to nourish you. Like oils are like a very crucial part of our lives. And another reason that like you had said your friend was like, oh my god, that's the worst part of butter. Why would you consume that? Like we have like a fat phobia in this country. And it stems from some historical and scientific things, but it's not necessarily the most true. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of the French paradox, but it's how can the French people consume so much animal fat through cheese and butter and pate and all this kind of stuff, yet have a lower incidence of heart disease in their country.
What is your favorite meal that you've made, or what's a new meal you've discovered during this whole lockdown?
In LA, there is a restaurant called Felix, and there's a chef called Evan Funk, and he's somewhat well known throughout the LA and that whole kind of area, and he hand rolls pasta. So it's incredible to watch. Like most people make pasta by a machine. I'm incredibly inspired by this person for what how he learned, and I bought his cookbook, and he has a recipe for bolognese, and it's absolutely incredible. So that's
Mm.
yeah.
Do you have any dreams, goals, aspirations, whether it's within Full Circle Ghee or something in the same, universe? What do you have anything on the horizons? I know that you guys posted about like possibly making a truffle ghee, by the way. I would be so down for that. That sounds bomb. But
Yeah.
even beyond like innovations in your portfolio, is there something that you see on the horizons, or in an ideal world, or is there something you'd like to see like come out of your business?
Well, it's a great question. It's something I've been thinking a lot lately, just with everything going on. Yeah, in addition to some other flavors, possibly a truffle one. There's a little complications with that just because truffle doesn't heat well, and then we have a very hot oil product that when we're making it all, so it's a little dicey with that one. But I'm thinking of some other cool, maybe hopefully fun things as far as that. But really, like the ultimate goal for the business is increasing the online sales. It's doing great, and it's a new venture. I just got the website done in January, and I hope it was easy for you to place your order.
It
'Cause I know
was
you just did that.
super easy. Yeah, the only hiccup I had nothing to do with you. I just hadn't updated my credit card on PayPal. And it was one of those
Yeah,
things like, I'm not walking the 2 feet away to get my credit card and enter the new info. I'll do it later. But no,
yeah.
the website is very easy to navigate. I will say that, as an offer, I love the idea of maybe you changing the name of brown butter to just Ella butter. I think that that might be a better marketing ploy for you. I would be honored if you named the brown butter after me. You don't even know how excited I am to try that one so badly, because
Uh-huh.
I'm on this seafood kick right now. And to your point, one of my favorite things about ghee and cooking with ghee and getting used to with cooking with ghee is that, yes, butter burns so quickly. The boiling point, the melting point is much lower. And so with ghee, like I can have a high heat, I can smoke something out while not burning the oil. How long do you think? So I got a jar I got what is it, the 16 ounce of the brown butter. How long do you think that'll last me?
So I
Knowing
mean,
that I don't cook.
so I mean, even for me, who's a chef and I love cooking. I cook it almost every day for my girlfriend and I. And I go through a 32-ounce jar in maybe like 4 months or so. So
Holy shit. So I'm gonna have this ghee for the next year. Best investment ever. I do have to say, I think that your beautiful girlfriend is very lucky that you cook for her, but it's the least you can do, because god damn, she is a beautiful species of a specimen. Oh my gosh. She's
yeah, it's very
beautiful
beautiful.
and just kind. I really, really, you did good with that one. I'll say it 1,000 times.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
she is very kind. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, she's a Cancer. Oh.
Oh, she is. And speaking of birthdays, my little Taurus,
Oh,
your birthday's in 2 days. Do you have any fun
it
celebrations?
is.
It's in 2 days, right? I'm not crazy.
It is 2 days. Yeah, you got it right. The ninth.
So I just would like to say that I officially think that your birthday is the worst birthday in the history of time. I've decided that today.
Why?
Because, like, it's bad enough that in high school and college, your birthdays always falls on finals. So nobody wants to
Yeah.
celebrate you because once they're done with finals, they want to go home, they want to party, celebrate. Or senior year, it was graduation. Nobody cared about you. And then
Mm.
now we have this lockdown. I'm like, what are you gonna like? You officially have the worst birthday. I'm so sorry, but I was actually freaking out because I was like, did I miss his birthday for a second? I was thinking it was 5/5. And I was
Oh,
like, oh, I'm such a shitty friend. And then I was like, oh, wait, no. Duh. How could I ever forget 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor? He's
yeah,
May
yeah.
9th. Yeah. So do you have any fun birthday plans? Obviously, like throwing a huge party is not on the table right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, are you really gonna throw a party for 31?
Um, are you asking, do you know me? Are you asking me that?
I mean, I was being slightly sarcastic with it. Despite everything going on right now during the quarantine thing, I'm actually really happy it's my birthday. I am not. I typically work, every single day, and I'm taking the 2 days off this weekend, so that'll be really nice. I I'm getting a case of wine delivered tomorrow from my favorite winery, so I'm not, not living a bad life.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I'm so glad. And honestly,
So
Nick, I'm so glad that we connected. I think I'm just speaking to you and learning more about just so impressed. Starting a business is something that I would love to do, but it just feels so far. It feels really, really, really impossible. Like I wouldn't even know what I want to do. There's nothing that's really inspired me and all that. And so I'm always so impressed, but especially with you and how and seeing your transition, like from, you were working at the farmers markets and selling it there and just now it's this full-blown amazing business. Like I'm really, really proud of you and just super excited and I really appreciate the time today. You
yeah,
rock.
thank you very much for having me on, and thank you for the compliments and everything. I mean, yeah, starting business isn't easy, but I love it because at the end of the day, I'm making a product that is like being not just loved by people, but is making them healthier in my opinion, and really nourishing them and like taking care of them and internally. I guess that kind of sounds weird.
I have a dirty mind, so that did sound weird, but I like it. Well, Nick, thank you again for the time. I had so much fun. So, your company again, Full Circle Ghee, which is Full Circle
Uh-huh.
Ghee on Instagram. Do I sound professional? I feel like I sound like I know what I'm doing when I say it like
You're
that.
doing great, sweetie.
FullCircleGhee.com. Go check it out.
Yes.
Order some. I haven't had the brown butter one, but I'm dying because I know it's going to be so good. And the Italian herb one, if you're a little overwhelmed and can't pick a flavor, you cannot go wrong with the Italian herb. That one is so, it's like pizza in your mouth. It's just so good. I
Oh,
love it. I could make anything with that all day long. So thank you again. I adore you.
thank you. I
And
adore
did
you.
you have a good time? Did you survive? Was it okay? What could I do
Yeah,
better? We
that's
can cut this
like.
out. I'm gonna edit like most of this like anyway.
Oh,
So
okay. No, so it's not like actually like a conversation now. It's all kind of stiff.
No, don't feel stiff. That makes me feel
Um,
bad.
we're just talking.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're just talking. Tell her to come on. Hi.
Cooper, come here.
I wanted to bring her on, but I didn't know if she would be bored or what. Cooper, we should have come on. Nick said my conversation was too stiff. Maybe you would have lightened it up.
Oh my gosh, he's such a dick.
No, no, no. It wasn't too stiff. I felt I was stiff. Not like in that way. I'll get your mind out of the gutter.
Okay, for once, I actually didn't think that. I thought you were just making fun of yourself. And I was like, okay, as long as it's not me.
But
Okay, so here's a question that'll be less stiff. Cooper, have you ever been to Burning Man with Cooper?
she has not ever been to Burning Man, no.
And are you ever going to go again?
I mean, I would love to go. Again, it would be my fifth time going. It would be amazing. I think it's an incredible experience, and I'm very blessed to have like gone as many times as I have. I don't know like how to properly answer that question, to be honest with you.
Interesting. Yeah, I wanted to go as a kid. I really wanted to go to Burning. I heard about Burning Man when I was about 9 years old, and then by the time I was old enough to go, it didn't feel as, and I hate to say this, like who the hell am I to say this, but it didn't sound as like pure, I guess. Like Paris Hilton was going already, like a lot of celebrities, people were talking about on TV. When I heard about Burning Man as a kid, it was literally the people who were talking about it were like, but you don't talk about it. It's like it's a it's a religious almost experience, and it's a spiritual experience, like, but it's not something to be like putting on the news or putting in the newspaper, or it was more of like this organic, beautiful disconnect situation. And from how many photos I saw on Instagram last year, like it's definitely not a disconnect situation. Like people very much are still connected to the outside world when they go. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know. It doesn't, for me, the appeal it had when I originally heard about it, and I was about 9 years old. I mean, I was a kid. I just remember fantasizing about it for weeks and talking to my dad. I was like, I want to go to that Burning Man festival. And then now thinking about it, I'm like, it just seems like a lot of dust and a lot of Instagram.
it's so Instagrammable now, and it's so like almost, I hate to say commercialized, but in a way, like it has been. So the first couple of years that I went out there, my cell phone didn't work.
For me, the reason why I went to Coachella for the first time in 2007, which is not the Coachella we know today, but
Yeah.
when I
Was that
went,
Rage?
yeah, that was Rage, their reunion.
Oh,
That's why I
remember when
went.
we saw Rage?
That was really fun. That was such a fun night.
Oh my
We've
God,
had some good times. We've had some fun.
we've had really good times.
Can't
Yeah.
forget. Wait. How did we figure out the Ooh Ooh Mandangalo? We do need to talk about that really quick. I promise you, anyone listening right now, assuming anyone is listening, they do not know what Ooh Ooh Mandangalo. I guarantee
You call yourself Mandingo Man? What?
Mandangalo.
Mandangalo. Mandangalo. That means your manhood dangles low.
I guarantee they don't know what that is, but I knew, like, I remember we were at your house. I think we were actually, you had a party at your house or something, and like someone, I don't know if it was you or me or like somebody else at the party made that noise, like you said, ooh, ooh, and we both simultaneously just like kind of under our breath said like, man dang hello. Like, I think it was something like that where both of us, like, either I said it or you said it, but there was a moment where I looked at you and I was like, this motherfucker is my soulmate. Like, not soulmate, not romantically. I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, this is like my soul brother. Like, this, like, that's it. My brother and
That
I went
was
around the house. Man, dang, hello.
yeah. So my sister and I, like, we ended up just watching a lot of Blind Date for whatever reason. I mean, I think it's kind of a ridiculous choice now for like two kids to be watching, but uh there was certain moments where like my sister and I would just literally laugh hysterically, and the Mandangalo one was the one. So it's not just you and me; it's literally both of our siblings that know about this.
But, like, okay, I'm on Google right now and I'm Googling Mandangalo. There's two clips, and then there's one Urban Dictionary. Like, it's not a thing. Like, other people don't know. And let me look at what year
I
this is
know.
from. We'll
Uh,
see. We'll see. I don't know. But I can't even find it. Anyway, thank you so much for being my soul brother. Thank you for
yeah.
speaking on this silly podcast. I'm going to cut out all the bad parts we talked about. So don't worry about that.
Please do.
I
No,
promise I will.
it was really great talking with you, Ella. Like, I miss you so much.
That's sweet. I adore you. And I really do adore Cooper. Tell her thank you for letting me steal you, although I'm sure I did her a favor. Okay. I love you. Goodbye. Adios.
I love you. It was good talking to you. I'll see you
Same
soon,
here. Happy
hopefully.
birthday. Okay, bye,
Thank you.
Cooper.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hey, thanks for checking this shit show out. If you have an idea you'd like to be featured here, my email is ellaiourbellapodcast@gmail.com. Thank you.